To start the communication between processing and Arduino, I'm going to follow this tutorial on SparkFun. It shows how to connect from Arduino to processing and from processing to Arduino, and to communicate back and forth. I'm going to go to this part, shaking hands, and start following this so that we can have the Arduino giving information to processing and processing giving information to the Arduino. So I'm just going to copy all the code. To go through this quickly, you have some variables. You're going to want to change your LED pin to something that your LED is actually connected to. And here you have the LED set up as an output. You're beginning the serial communication, and then you're calling this function that you've created below. In the loop, you're asking if the serial communication link is open, as in processing is not sending information to Arduino, so Arduino can currently be sending information to processing. You're reading whatever that input is that you're getting from processing and assigning it to a variable. And then if that variable is equal to 1, you're switching the state of the LED. So once you've got this in Arduino, you want to go over to processing. This is an important part to note, the serial.list 4. You want to look in Arduino in Tools and find the port that you're using. I should be using port, starting counting at 0 again, port 0. You can read through this documentation to figure out exactly what each line is doing. But just for an overview, you're using this serial library. And you're making sure that the connection is working and making sure your Arduino and processing aren't sending things at the same time, that they're varying sending information. So if you plug in your Arduino, you upload it and name it. You're going to want to save processing, save that file. And then go and save it inside of that folder that you just made for Arduino. Once this runs, clicking on it should turn on the LED. If it doesn't, you can try changing the port. Port 1 is what worked for me. So now I have my red LED blinking on and off. Now that we've got Arduino and processing communicating together, we're going to start to combine some of the code that we made in the original Arduino file. I'm going to start by taking my LEDs and putting them in here, getting rid of this Boolean LED state. I'm going to change the green to correct and the red to incorrect. Now I need to add another pin mode in setup. And instead of LED pin, this now needs to say correct and incorrect. Now I'm going to go into the loop and ask for an A or a B value from val. So I'm going to change this to A. And if the value that I get back is A, I'm going to say digital write corrects high. In other words, turn the green one on. And then I'm going to delay for 3 seconds. And I'm going to turn it off. So that way, when I guess A, the LED is going to turn on for 3 seconds and then turn off. So it doesn't stay on this time. I'm going to add another one of these if statements. I'm going to say if it's equal to B. And I'm going to change this to incorrect. And I need to make this one correct as well. And this should do the same with the red LED. And I'm going to get rid of this else because I don't necessarily need it to do this stuff. And instead, I'm just going to say return. So that's just going to break out of the loop. And that's all I'm going to change for the Arduino. Next, we need to compare the processing and actually get it to send this A and B. Now that I'm in processing, I just have a couple quick changes to make to get it working with the Arduino part that we just changed. Here, all these A's are saying I'm communicating well with Arduino, but it's kind of confusing for what we're dealing with, sending A's and B's. So I'm going to change all of these to contacting. And here, where we're actually sending a value based on what we do in processing, I'm going to change this 1 to the character A. So that's it for processing. Now we can test it and go on to the next step. Now that we've got changes to both the Arduino and the processing files, we can test it. To start, upload the Arduino file. Once that's done uploading, I'm going to comment out the mouse press part and run the processing file. Right now my green LED is lighting up. So now that that is somewhat functional, we can move on and add more information to each of our files.